out the weak from who you've been. Can you win this war you're in? Is your point laborious, or will you rise victorious? So take it or break it. Take it or break it. Take it or break it. Earn your throne.
Welcome to Take It or Break It, the sports takes game show of your dreams, your nightmares. I'm your host, Corbin Smith. I just took too long to take a nap, so that's what's going on with me today. I went down, I set an alarm, the alarm didn't go off, very irritating. And then I woke up and I had to throw a script for this together real quick, and it was horrible. That's the main thing that's been going on with Corbin today.
That's why I don't nap.
Do you really not nap, Joshua?
No naps. No naps for me because they all go awry. I have never had a good nap. I don't think anyone's ever had a good nap.
I've had a good nap before. I've had a good nap before.
Have you really?
Yeah,
I've had a.
Yeah, just like a solid hour, middle of the day, feeling a little droopy.
Yeah. No part of you after that nap feels discombobulated. Your hair doesn't feel sticky or nothing. You don't. Do you not drool in your sleep? Do you not get like?
There's a science to this, Josh. You have to sleep for less than an hour.
I mean, then what's the fucking point of napping?
To get
the
one.
point is
bullshit.
because you don't want to get onto an actual REM cycle because then you're exhausted. You gotta train. You gotta have discipline.
Yeah.
Chemical naps, dude. Technology has given us so many ways to be awake, from your 5-hour energy drinks to crack cocaine. I
have anxiety problems, Josh. I can't just do that. I can't just subject myself to those kinds of stimulants.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, dude. I feel like that's between you and your therapist.
Crack cocaine is underrated, really. People, it's gotten a bad name, but it's from a plant, Corbin. So
certainly organic, vegetarian, certainly.
Microdose it.
Microdose crack.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey guys, I guess I'll have to look into it. Anyway, let's meet today's contestants. Number 1, a writer for the Daily Beast, The Outline, and others. A frequent friend here at TOB. It's Bob Silverman. Bobby, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, Corbs. How are you? How was your nap?
Just a little too long. I didn't not REM cycle-y too long, just too long tactically.
No, that point where you're like, I'm groggy, maybe I could get more nap, but that'll only make things worse. No, I know that place. I've been there.
Yeah. Well, what happened to me was that I went down and I woke up at 3:40.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I looked at my phone and the alarm hadn't gone off. I also might have wasted a little bit of time watching YouTube clips before my nap. Very undisciplined.
Everyone does enjoy a nice YouTube rabbit hole.
Yeah. Seeing, watching. I've been watching, things Wolverine does in a movie. Perhaps he murders somebody with his claws.
I just saw a tweet, which may be relevant to this, which is that I don't know if he's a friend of the podcast, but a fine NBA blogger, Eric Freeman.
Eric is certainly a friend of the podcast.
Right. I just don't know if he was an actual guest. I mean, there's friends and there's guests.
No, he has also been on the show.
The mansion has many rooms, is what I'm saying. In any case, he said that the director, James Mangold, of the critically beloved Logan film, which I thought was overrated crap, based that film as an homage, if you will, to Ozu.
Oh.
Which I did not see coming.
The Japanese director whose movies are all about getting old?
Yes.
Well, it is about Wolverine getting old.
It is about Wolverine getting old. Now, of course, there was an entire comic book from which it was derived.
Yes.
Called Old Man Logan.
The Bible.
Yes. And I guess you could, I guess it's more Ozu than it is the actual source material, but I digress. In any case, you were in a YouTube rabbit hole.
Yeah. And I went down a little later than I meant to. Look, there was a lot of irresponsibility involved. Has your dad ever drawn Wolverine?
No.
Okay.
No,
What
I
a
did.
question.
I did a Josh, just to get you up to speed. My dad is an actual real life artist person, and he does. Yes,
Jethro told
And I
him
wrote
off once. Yeah,
I did a long blog for the Outline that ran a couple of weeks ago about a painting he did that was the cover of the Jethro Tull album Aqualung, and he does many paintings. But no, a very famous or well-known Marvel Comics inker named Joe Rubinstein was in the private class that my dad had for years. And for a long time, I would draw Marvel Comics by, like, the Bucketful and Wolverine and people going snicked. And I thought, like, this could be a career. I
like
could do
Wolverine
that.
kind of pulling his shorts down to expose the top part of his dick, things like that.
No, I never did that. No. They were pretty much, aside from all the murder, they were pretty clean, the drawings that I did.
But Wolverine loves murdering dudes.
Yes, he does.
Say what you will about the man. Loves to get a good murder in.
Yeah.
How ripply did you make their bods? Like, how skin tight are we talking with these dudes?
Oh, it was like, it was spandex that was painted on. I made sure I had the anatomy down pat, but these guys were swole and wearing
Hell yeah.
clothing that was, and wearing a thin veneer of spandex to cover it.
Man, you know what would rule? If you saw Wolverine and he was in a conductor's outfit with overalls and he was murdering somebody with his claws.
I can do that for you, Corbin, for your birthday.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Can you dress him up like Little Lord Fauntleroy? Like a big lollipop and like dandy blonde hair, rosy red cheeks, but just like murdering a guy?
I mean, I'm physically able to, if that's the question.
And it was.
Okay.
Oh, I just
Why don't you introduce Josh, Corbin? Why don't we get this
because
off?
we were talking about Wolverine. I don't know. And
These very sort of like anime hentai scented, creepily sexual Wolverine drawings that everyone really is jonesing for.
Hey man, I'm not here to yuck anybody's yum with regards to gross Wolverine
Just
drawings.
called it gross.
And our second guest, a comedian and the host of the live program DeMarcus Who Dies After Dark. It is Josh Androsky. Josh, how are you doing?
I am good. How are you?
I'm well. Androsky, is that a good pronunciation on that?
Yeah, Androsky's good. People like to throw in consonants. There aren't any. It's Androsky.
Andorosky, perhaps?
I mean, look, at this point, it doesn't really sound like anything other than Polak. You could just say, hey, Polak. And I'll be like, hello.
How many Joshes does it take to appear on a podcast? Hey-yo!
Oh, 42, because 41 of them fell out of the screen door in the submarine. Oh!
Oh!
I did, though, see one, actual Polish joke in real life. I went with my father and my dad's friend. This is a real dad's friend story.
Yeah.
My dad's friend took us to a short track race, track. And it was an international...
there is nothing your dad's friend likes doing more than going to short track racetracks.
Right? That's such a dad's friend thing to do.
Nothing.
So it was some international thing, and all of the guys were on... the racers were on a truck doing a lap to wave to the crowd, because, there are a bunch of people in from all the countries. And as it gets to where the starting banner is... Everybody ducks except the Polish driver, whose head hits the starting banner and he tumbles off the truck, but he was okay.
Well, pretty funny.
It was the most IRL, old-timey joke. It's vaudeville. Real life.
What a delight. What a delight. Bob, what were your dad's friends like?
It's a rich panoply. There are a lot of his artist friends who, when I was a kid, I just all found sort of, they were all very swarthy, and they tended to be hunched over and serious, and they had a lot of facial hair, and they were very serious men. So there's that. We actually oh God, there was this one family friend who I won't name because this is going to get slanderous. But he and his wife were friends of my mom and my dad, and so I was friends with their son, and we spent a lot of time together in various places. And one time after they got divorced, I was hanging out with my friend. Let's call him Jeff. That's not his name.
Mm-hmm.
I was hanging out with Jeff.
Jeff Green.
It was very much Jeff
forward
Green.
Jeff Green.
Useless Cavaliers, small forward, power forward Jeff Green and I were hanging out, and
he was constantly falling down.
He really could not make an open jump. Anyway, we were hanging out at Jeff's divorced dad's, very cool, like Soho loft, and I'm pretty sure that Jeff's dad and Jeff's dad's friend were just doing massive amounts of coke while sort of watching after us, because like we were fake pretending that we were in the WWE, and we're 13, and we were trying out wrestling moves on each other in this fancy Soho loft, and like coming really close to breaking shit. And Jeff's dad and Jeff's dad's friend really found this far too amusing, and tried to encourage us to do more and more really, really violent wrestling moves on one another.
Yeah. You guys are gonna.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna make it.
No.
Do it on the fire escape. Do it on the fire escape.
Right, yeah. What is this? What is this? What's a suplex? Show me the suplex again. And, I mean, I didn't really understand that it may have been a stimulant-powered thing about why they thought us wrestling, like two boys wrestling at age 13, was so super cool. But in retrospect,
yeah,
I think it was too much booger sugar, is my theory.
Did you
in any case,
Oh, sorry. Did you not want
like they were moving furniture out of the way so we could have more room to body slam one
Hey man, that's just a father being supportive.
Sure. Yeah.
Josh, ask your question.
Oh, did you not want to name your friend's dad because it was Chris Benoit?
It was not Chris Benoit.
Okay.
He was in no way involved with the wrestling world at all. So hence his interest in wrestling was kind of strange. Aside from the fact that I'm pretty sure they were like doing coke and just thought this was the funniest shit ever. Which, in retrospect, it might have been.
Anyway, thank you for joining us. It's time to get to the gristle, but first we have to spell out the rules. Take It or Break It is a game where we discuss topics. A not bad take on the topic is worth 1 or 2 points. An actually good take is worth 3 points. A scorching hot take is worth 5 points. But beware, a garbage take will be worth -3 points. Are we all understood?
Yes.
You bet.
Question 1. I wonder who should go first today. I don't know.
Give it to the new kid.
Yeah, all right.
Let the new kid give this Ferris wheel a spin.
All right, Josh, you're gonna end up going first. Sorry, I was just sitting here thinking about it. Question 1. Today's decision by the @NFL is a win for fans, a win for @POTUS, and a win for America. Americans can once again come together around what unites us: our flag, our military, and our national anthem. Thank you, NFL. #proud to stand. With those words from large white religious-type fascist Mike Pence, the National Football League, an organization that is and never has been stupid, stepped into a brave new tomorrow, one where its players will not be allowed to publicly protest the national anthem without fear of being fined or suspended. Some highlights from the policy. Number 1, all team and league personnel shall stand and show respect for the flag and anthem. 2, the game operations manual will be revised to remove the requirement that not all players be on field for the anthem. 3, personnel who choose not to stand for the anthem may stay in the locker room or a similar location off the field until after the anthem has been performed. 4, a club will be fined by the league if its personnel are on the field and do not stand and show respect for the flag and the anthem. 5, each club may develop its own rules consistent with the above principles regarding its personnel who do not stand and show respect for the flag and the anthem. And 6, the commissioner will impose appropriate discipline on league personnel who do not stand and show respect. Corbin, come on, show respect for the flag and the anthem. Now, all things considered, this is not quite as heinous as one could possibly make it, but it is, beyond a shadow of a doubt, the dumbest possible compromise reached for reasons that are tremendously nebulous. And so, my question for you, my guests, is this the most Goodell shit that has ever happened? Will it make literally anybody happy? Is this shit actually affecting the NFL, and does this ass covering actually have some structural reason behind it, as cowardly and money influenced as that reason may be? What would you do if you were standing on the field during the national anthem? And isn't it kind of fucking lame that they didn't go for the yardage penalties like they were rumored to do? Josh, you first.
So first, I want to zoom out a little bit and just remark on how ultimately, when you look at it, a flag is just your country's gayest blanket. It's a beautiful, shimmering blanket, and it's full of stars or like maybe an eagle or fire or something. And the fact that Mike Pence, who hates sexuality so much that he won't watch a kiss on television, is like getting mad at people for not respecting a blanket, I think it's really worth just like acknowledging how insane this is before we get into the minutia. And because this is the NFL, this absolutely ludicrous thing that boils down to respecting a gay blanket is riddled with minutia. All of the little things, like that's the most Goodell shit ever. Like, any other, I think, commissioner would just be like, they can or they can't. But Roger fucking Goodell has to make sure that there's all these little power mechanisms and his stubby little fingers. Like, I just imagine Roger Goodell's hands as all Rahm Emanuel tiny fingers. First of all, I don't know why. I don't think he's ever been portrayed as that in public. But his tiny little fingers are all over this fucking shit. And I think it's horseshit. And I think that, it doesn't affect the NFL at all whatsoever, other than I guess the NFL gets a little bit more free press from it. Like, it's not – nobody's stopping watching the game because of the anthem. But if I were commissioner, I would make it so that if you are a person who cares about this, you have to stand in your home during the anthem. Because I think a lot of these guys that care are sitting on the couch, and I think that's horseshit. And if I were in a game to protest the anthem, I'm trying to think of like what the most disrespectful thing you could do. I would steal valor during the national anthem. I would go up with like a bunch of like fake medals on my shoulder pads and just stand with the army and then try to leave when the army leaves.
Yeah, there's worse things you can do. 3-point take, I'm going to go ahead and say, Josh. Silverman.
Yeah. I got off a blog about this yesterday. But you can read it at thedailybeast.com. It's really fascinating to me. The long and short of it is I think the NFL is, not to defend the NFL or in any way posit it as the victim here, is they're getting gamergated and they don't seem to understand it. And I wrote this last night that as soon as they laid down this glorious sanctified version of the rules, that all of their bad faith critics are just going to move the goalposts, to use a football term, and figure out something else to get mad about. And it happened. It happened when the president went on his favorite TV story hour and now suddenly thinks that people should be kicked out of the country if they don't fuck the flag. It's like, and for, and I wrote it and I wrote the blog and I thought, yeah, that's fair. And it's that, the people who are angry at the NFL for not being enough of a troop respecter are going to be angry at the NFL no matter how far away they put their employees. And really, this is only going to make employees in the NFL want to protest more. Honestly, I think there's something like the last week of the NFL season, there were about 10 guys still taking a knee in one form or another. It was going away. And then they brought it back into the spotlight. And I can't decide if it's because they're a giant corporation that at the head of which is 32 or 31 incredibly white, dense, inbred, probably billionaires, and they're equally doofus clown prince, and they're just lacking the foresight to see that there's no way to appease the maddening crowd. Or in my most cynical moments, I think actually someone wants this to be part of the election cycle next year, because I mean, all anyone's going to do come opening day is take a look at who's in the locker room. It's going to be the story, and I'm trying to decide whether I prefer whether this is just rank incompetence or something even more nefarious, where the NFL owners would sacrifice potentially some lost income in favor of giving our big, wet, soggy president something to scream about. It's very strange, and both those options are very depressing. So I guess that's my take there. I mean, honestly, and I wrote this yesterday, I would love it if there was some solidarity among NFL employees and they all just stayed in the locker room together so no one player could be targeted. But I don't think that's going to happen.
Nah. Quarterbacks don't care about this.
Yeah, Tom Brady's going to lead the solidarity charge. Tom Brady is going to join the DSA and be like...
Known union man Thomas Brady.
Known union brand Thomas Brady is going to say there's no such thing as ethical consumption under capitalism and sit in the locker room during the playing of the bad song.
You know what? First off, Bob, very sincere take. 3 points.
Yeah, I went with sincere.
Yeah, like very heartfelt. Josh and Bob, I suppose. Have you guys heard of this thing where military guys lose their mind over dudes who have sex with people whose partners are deployed?
Is this a Marine Todd story?
I've heard about men getting mad that they are cheated on. Do I just fold that into this, or is this a specific?
Well, I'm just saying that
if
you really want to disrespect the flag, I think that's probably what you do. Is you find a troop's partner,
and you cuck the troop,
and you cuck the troop. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
but
a bold move.
You can't do that in the stadium, though, buddy. They're not all there.
Well, we don't know. I mean, we don't know that. You know. Look, is it going to take a little bit of planning? Certainly.
I have a rude story on a somewhat related topic involving a troop that was told to me by a troop.
Please go right ahead.
I'm going to listen to anything with that intro.
Sure. This was told to me by a friend of mine who was, when we were shooting this movie that involved a whole bunch of scenes, supposedly in a firefight in Baghdad. So we all got 2 weeks of very low key basic training and learned how to hold a weapon and all that stuff.
Were you shooting Ballistic X versus Sever?
Yes, we were. That was the
Hell
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually Lucy Liu in that movie. But we got basic training, and it was a lot of fun. It was very cool. He also, while he'd gotten back, the guy who was training us was in the armed forces, and he served our country proudly. And he also, but what he did was he had like a very low grade 2006 era GoPro camera that he would strap to his helmet while he would go on various missions. So he showed that to us. He showed us live, unedited, raw footage, unedited raw footage of him going on missions that we used very much to help make the movie Ballistic X versus Sever. And in any case, long story short, one story he told us, which is probably my favorite one, is this, which is that there were these two guys who were working in the, oh god, now I'm going to look like a chump. What's the word for the place where they fix the cars in the army?
The auto pool.
In the auto pool. God damn it, I'm like cars in the army. I'm Buster Bluth now. Anyway, he was telling us this story about two guys working in the auto pool, and like one of them was on a dolly underneath a Jeep fixing the Jeep, and the other one was playing like he was he was passing him various tools to the guy underneath the Jeep. And so as a funny joke, one time when he was asking for, I don't know, a socket wrench or something, he unzipped his pants and put his dick in the guy's hand as a funny joke.
That's a funny joke.
It's a funny joke. You reach for a socket wrench and you get a dick. That's funny, even if no one was there to see it. In any case, his friend underneath the car got angry at getting burned like that, and I forget actually how it escalated, but they kept on doing more and more raunchy sexual things to each other to burn them, to the point that they were actually, one was fucking the other in the ass on top of a Jeep. and the part about it that's
how every prank war should end. That's how
right, really.
the movie Tag that's coming out that they're just insufferably like promoting. Like that's the only way it could end with like Ed Helms or whoever. If Ed Helms isn't in that movie, it's the most Ed Helms movie ever. But like they all fuck. That's the perfect.
Yeah. So and that was hilarious. And they got caught. And this is and doing this, and like someone walked in on them having full on anal sex on top of a Jeep to own the other one.
Got you.
The guy in the ass to own the libs. And the best part of it is they were questioned by their officer. I think this was before
Don't Ask, Don't Tell
right
repeal.
In the middle. This is before the Don't Ask, Don't Tell repeal. So this is not allowed. This was not only like, this was just not like Don't Ask, Don't Tell. This was like, okay, we're going to show. And so the defense that these guys had was like, the one guy who was being anally penetrated, his defense was like, I'm not gay. Like, he's the one who's gay. He was the one fucking me in the ass. And the top in this case, his defense was, I'm not gay. He was the one who spread his ass cheeks. I just put my dick inside him. And I don't know how. And they were both dishonorably discharged. But
you know what?
That's
fucked up.
That is my troop story. Support the troops.
Wow.
That
Can he get bonus points for telling that story?
no, no, he can't.
No.
That's not
No. That's not how the game works.
Yeah, that's not how the game works. Only for the topics. Look, fabulous story though, Bob.
Sure.
Can we go back to the troop disrespecting the like having sex with a troop's partner as disrespecting?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Where did you learn about this, Corbin?
I don't know. I think probably from Chapo, or something along those lines.
Sure.
I feel like like the one way to do it even better would be that while the troop is deployed, right? So you're an NFL player, you've got a lot of money.
Tons.
While the troop is deployed, you go and actually fall in love with the troop's partner. And then what they do when they, show the militarization of sports, like they have like the troop that shows up and everybody stands and then I don't stand and I feel weird moment at every single ball game. That's when the player would use the Jumbotron to propose to the troop's wife.
Yes.
And then have the key to that is then having a very loving and successful relationship with that troop's partner.
Yeah.
Yeah, the real own is a solid long-term relationship.
I think
that's the deepest.
Being his friend, being the troop's friend.
I think that the ultimate here is you win the Super Bowl. You are voted Super Bowl MVP, and you turn around and propose to the troop's wife.
Yeah.
In front of everybody, and she goes, yes, 1,000 times yes. And then that guy is like cucked in the annals of history, so to speak.
Anals. Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, I'm going to Disneyland with Debbie with an I.
Yeah.
I'm
sure there's a Reddit. I'm feeling the need that I have to go on Reddit after the show is over and see if I can find the subgroup that's talking deeply about the disrespect of cucking while someone is doing a tour.
I mean, God, you gotta hope.
Because I want them to. I'm hoping there's a confrontation with a camera, like with like the confrontations with Valor stealing. Like Cheaters meets Stolen Valor.
Did you guys read the story about how this one particular Nazi party fell apart when the communications director was like falling in the bushes trying to spy on the head of the party's wife?
Yeah,
there was also his mother.
His stepdad was fucking his wife, I think is what it was.
Yeah, it was really. The traditional workers' party fell apart in a really, really spectacular way.
It was like if there was some sort of like hentai about Cletus the slack-jawed yokel.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I had to close the door and I missed part of that, so I don't know what we're talking about. Question 2.
It's all good.
A bum ba-dum bum bum ba-dum bum. It's the NBA playoffs, baby. The Celtics are standing above the Cavs 3-2 in their truly frustrating series. A squad full of dweebs and tryhards doing everything they can to take down Big Daddy LeBron and his crew of pot-bellied, cigar-chomping, eye-patched pirates. Please, in this space, assume that LeBron is listening. He is a listener, of course. And give him the advice and encouragement he needs to power through the weight of his teammates and destroy the Celtics once and for all, lest we enter a half-decade of their vile green uniforms being pasted to our television during the finals year after year. Silverman, you first.
What's the question here?
Please encourage LeBron to beat the Celtics.
Oh yeah, I mean the thing that's really tricky is that normally the Celtics would be the kind of team that I would absolutely root for because
damn it, Silverman.
I'm saying normally. Normally, this is a caveat.
Oh, okay.
I am framing it that they haven't got, Jason Tatum is gobs of fun, and so is Jaylen Brown, and Marcus Smart, and is. Can
we pause for half a second? I just got to pause you for half a second. Jason Tatum is not fun. He is dreadfully boring.
He's so smooth.
Ugh, he's too smooth. He's smooth like diarrhea smooth. Anyway, continue.
Oh, no, he's wicked smooth. In any case,
he's like Kawhi. He's like Kawhi if Kawhi didn't have sex. Continue.
Okay. Marcus Smart doesn't actually know how to play basketball, but is still very effective. There's a lot of grumpy ass Al Horford is trudging around out there doing shit. Like it's a well coached, smart, fun team. It is objectively. It is
well coached. Jesus.
Yes.
All right, continue.
Like that Tom Cotton-ass looking motherfucker on the sidelines is a good coach.
I continue.
In any case, but the fact that they're from the utter Boston, the you think you're better than me quality of Boston fans is making me absolutely loathe them with the fire of 1,000 suns. And I want them dead. And now they're making me root for this team of LeBron and barely interested over-the-hill vets and useless fringe guys. And it's really upsetting to me. And I just want LeBron to Hulk out. Just Hulk out for one more game. That's my only wish is one more game where LeBron drops an insane stat line. Just to piss off like Bill Simmons or something. Just to make Bill Simmons mad online. What would that, and I would say to LeBron, like the motivation I would say to LeBron is like, I would say, LeBron, unfortunately, nobody believes in you now. Sorry, buddy. Nobody believes in you. That's what I would say to him.
Wow. I mean, it's a lie, but 2 points.
Okay, fair.
Androsky.
Here's what I'm going to say.
Would I ever call you Andro?
Wow.
I mean, no, but hey, I'm down.
Like the
Andro
steroid.
Boy?
No, like the steroid.
Like Astro Boy? Oh, like Androsky.
Andro Boy, yeah, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
I have gotten a playful Androgenoski, but that's because I throw a Bowie party every year.
Like a David Bowie or a knife party?
No, a David, not the knife.
Okay.
I don't throw a knife party every year.
By the way, if I could take a moment, I'd like to recommend a TV show, which if you're not a fan already, I would heartily recommend.
Star Trek, Deep Space Nine.
No.
Is it Knife Show?
It's Forged in Fire.
Ah, yes.
Forged in Fire is the exact same format as the TV show Chopped.
It's Chopped for Juggalos.
But they just make knives.
Oh,
They
shit,
make
that's pretty cool.
Cool knives.
That's pretty cool.
You have like 7 hours to forge a knife. And then after, with 4 competitors, the first 2 are eliminated by the blade and edged weapon experts, who are exactly the kind of guys you think would be a blade and edged weapon expert.
What percentage of them have a shaved head?
I would say that every single person on this show spends far more time than the average human tending to beard and mustache maintenance.
God bless them.
I will say, this show answers the question, what happened to all those people you knew in high school who knew magic?
No. This is not magic, guys. These are guys for whom, there's one episode where a guy says, I knew I wanted to get into knives after watching Conan the Barbarian for the first time.
Ooh.
Which, of course, these are the guys who had ninja throwing stars when you were 13 in high school. Like a lot of ninja throwing stars, and maybe also a butterfly knife.
Is it possible they dabbled in magic?
Yeah, but like only because maybe they could hold a bow staff.
Man, wouldn't that would be such a fucking good magic routine, like a show magic routine. Is like a wizard dude, a guy whose whole thing is I'm a wizened old wizard.
You're getting close to devil sticks territory.
Yeah, these guys have devil sticks. I'm just saying, like,
slackliners.
You could have a magic knife guy named Throdini.
Yes.
Yeah. In any case, the show is awesome because after they cut it down to 2 competitors, they are then forced to make a historical knife. In this case, a sword like a halberd or a scimitar, and they have to
Johnny
go back.
Knows a knife.
I've learned a lot about knives from watching this show, and they have to go back to their home forge for 5 days to make the historical knife.
Yeah.
And yes, they all have a home forge.
Oh yeah. I mean, how are you going to get on this fucking show if you don't have your own goddamn forge?
No, yeah.
You don't have the requisite skills to get through the opening round if you're not forging.
I'm going to do a hot take right here. Probably not hard to get a home forge. It's just fire.
It's like hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of equipment.
Oh, okay. So all of these people are that one Coke grandson who made the clothing line, but for knives.
Yeah. What's his name? Wyatt Coke.
Yeah.
Except they got into knives and like hammering things and having a home forge.
Wyatt Coke is the kind of fetus-looking one, right?
Yeah, that's the one who's like sitting there in front of his little desk drawing pictures to put on his shirts.
Yeah.
It's really is a golden age for fail sons right now, but Wyatt was a pretty fine example of one. In any case, Forged in Fire, they also test the knives on things like a giant slab of pork to see how sharp it is, or a silicon gel body which bleeds. There are
or
many,
a Silicon
many
Valley intern
that also bleeds.
Yes, but I'm saying it's a fine show. How did we get to the knives?
You brought it up.
Track.
Yeah, you really did. Josh,
please jump in.
Josh, please encourage LeBron.
Yes.
Okay. Here's what I'm going to say to LeBron James. I'm going to say...
Is it I studied the blade?
God damn it, no. I'm going to say this. Who fucking cares, dude? You know what? Fuck it. Fuck Cleveland. Fuck Dan Gilbert. Just quit. If you want to piss off the city of Boston more than anything, you just don't show up to the stadium Game 7. Because you know what would be worse for Bill Simmons and those guys than losing? Is having a fucking asterisk next to their win. The one time they fucking beat LeBron, it's because LeBron chose to not try.
I think strong. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm just saying it's you own basketball. Take the ball, go home.
It's a strong take.
It's a powerful take.
It is a powerful take. I would only rebut it.
3-point take, Androsky, but continue, Silverman.
I would only rebut it by saying, like, Boston would never shut up about LeBron being too chicken to play. They would love that shit. They would never say, like, LeBron. Like, even if the Golden State Warriors, like, pulled their pants down and smacked their fannies, the LeBron got... Like, if LeBron has the kind of game similar to the one he had when Boston eliminated them in 2010, where he just looks checked out and plays like crap, they are going to dine out on that for the next 8 years, like they've dined out on the 2010 game for the last 8 years.
But I'm saying make it political. Make it like LeBron. Make it political. Make it about something else.
Yeah, I don't think Boston fans will see that degree of
nuance. I
I
couldn't go to the game because I was having sex with a troop's wife.
Yeah.
Now that would be interesting.
That would be a powerful statement. Question 3. Meanwhile, in the West, the Rockets and the Warriors find themselves in a weird war. Now, Game 6 will air like right after we record this, so we can't provide any information on that game. Just assume something happened. I don't know. But this is no matter. The Warriors have, I believe, found themselves in a strange position. They compete with the teams in front of them for certain, but mostly it appears that they are fighting with the ages, the Celtics and the Lakers and the Michael Jordans of old. And so, a question. If Michael Jordan was on the Warriors, would they be down to the Rockets right now? Or would the taste of defeat be so vile to MJ they would be personally isolating James Harden to nothing while everyone else just stood around? Also, would he deign to party with even one of these dweebs? Josh?
So, okay, it's Michael Jordan in his prime in the year 2018 on the Warriors.
Yes.
We're not transporting these Warriors players back to MJ's day.
Yes.
Okay, because if we were, MJ would party with the Golden State Killer because he's a fucking psychopath. But
true.
Nowadays, I feel like against the Rockets, MJ, his like insane work ethic might spur Chris Paul to reach unimaginable, like, weird sociopathic heights. Like, we could see the level of, like, annoyance brought by MJ's greatness and just constant trash talking that Chris Paul might, like, try to start a fight with his own team. Like, that would really grate on James Harden. I don't think they'd be down, but not because MJ's better. But imagine another Draymond Green on your team as far as, like, just being a shitty, mean guy to you. So I think they would be down, but not because – or they wouldn't be down, but not because MJ's a better player, just because he'd get in Chris Paul's head more.
Yeah.
And I think of all the people he would hang out with, like, on the team, I could see him and, like – I feel like him and David West – might get along just because they both look like they wear real big pants.
That's true.
I'm trying to think of which of them would wear the biggest pants. And I think everybody else is pretty stylish, except David West would just like be rocking some Kirkland, like 2 sizes too big Kirkland brand pants.
A belt, perhaps.
Oh, huge belt.
Huge belt.
Well, point of parliamentary procedure here, Corbin. Are we saying that, like, we're going to take Jordan and replace a Warrior now? Are we gonna like? Or
It's
we're
up
just
to
like
you.
throwing him onto the roster?
I left it intentionally vague. But you know what? Let's just throw him onto the roster.
All right. Yeah. So,
Josh, Josh. That's a 3-point take, by the way.
All right.
I definitely think that Michael Jordan would have personally dismantled Chris Paul. Like,
I mean, there was a very weird. Let's assume that LeBron, like Michael Jordan, 2018, like managed to have a decent 3-point shot, and he was a decent 3-point shooter in his last couple of old ass stumbling years with the Washington Wizards. And so let's assume that he's got 3-point range in this modern incarnation. I mean, look, you put Michael Jordan on the Golden State Warriors roster. Yes, I think they're going to have a good, considerable lead, especially since it's still, I think, kind of unclear right now if Klay Thompson and Iguodala are going to play tonight. So the Warriors might be a little fucked. I think the thing that LeBron, like the thing that Curry was able to do at the end of 2015 and for big chunks of the beginning of the 2015-2016 season is just pull off these insane runs where he rips another team's soul out. It's that, quote from LeBron from earlier in the playoffs when he was launching 20-foot Nowitzki fadeaways to just pummel the poor feckless Toronto Raptors, is that not all 2 points are 2 points. And Michael Jordan, as much as anyone, specialized in that just gut-killing, oh my God, I can't believe you hit that. There's no way we're going to win. And Curry had it too. And so does LeBron James in long stints. And right now there's nobody on the Warriors who's doing that. Even Durant. There's something about Durant that all of his, when he, gets an isolation on the block and then just shoots over, a 6'5" PJ Tucker. It's like, yeah, okay, that's a shot you should hit. It's kind of annoying that he can hit that and get to pretty much wherever he wants on the floor. But except for Game 5 last year against the Cavaliers, there hasn't been one of those, oh my God, Kevin Durant is going to rip your soul out via your esophagus and then play with it kind of
Is that
runs.
where you think the soul is, Bobby?
Yeah, I think that's how you got to get it.
Okay.
That's it's in the Kabbalah. In any case, so TLDR, yeah, even if you say subbed Michael Jordan in for Steph Curry, I think peak Jordan would be able to do just rude, dehumanizing things, and I think the Warriors would be up 3-1 instead of it being tied right now. It's a 2.
Yeah, guess what, Bob?
Now it's a 1. Fuck.
I was literally writing down a 2. I was like, that's a 2-point take. And then you predicted it yourself.
I'm a wily vet, Corbin.
Yeah, look, Bob's been on the show a few times. There's no way around it.
Yeah.
How, if you could let just a quick unrelated question.
Oh, as to who he would party with?
Yeah.
Like Michael Jordan only parties with someone who can be of use to him or someone who he can steal gobs of money with by gambling. So and I think the problem is the only person who he would like he'd either hang out with Draymond to serve as muscle, or he would find something
Oakley style.
Yeah, Charles Oakley style. Or he would hang out with someone who he thought was enough of a sucker to like get into a gambling beef with him. And I think KD is just petty enough to think he could like beat Jordan as a scratch golfer and lose tons of money. So it's either Durant or Draymond is the guys he'd hang out with.
I want that Kevin Durant. I think that Kevin Durant losing all his money in illicit gambling would finally give him the third dimension of the personality that we've been craving.
He has a third dimension. It's just incredibly petty and thin-skinned.
It's
amazing.
He's very Drake lately.
Yeah, which is nothing. Which is just a plastic or just a brown paper bag. Like that's
the best part. My favorite Kevin Durant story, or one of my favorite ones, is when, aside from him like having burner Twitter accounts to clap himself on the back, is when people wanted to give him the nickname the Slim Reaper, and everyone's like, which was a great nickname. And he's like, no, I am the servant. Yeah. You're like, dude, no one can pull off the nickname yourself. When people call Kobe Black Mamba, they did it with a raised eyebrow and like, okay, yeah, you're the Black Mamba.
Unless you're unless you're a dweeb. Only dweebs sincerely
You're an insane or like a knife guy. And it's like, okay, you're the Black Mamba. But
knife guys and snake guys, very similar guys.
Very similar guys.
It should be noted that there is definitely a knife guy out there who has made a snake-themed knife for Kobe.
Oh, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Kobe.
Oh, my God. Kobe is the knife guy of the NBA.
Like, he has some, like, very sort of stately... Like, there's one room in his pristine mansion that is for the stately display of his actual, like, 19th century Japanese samurai swords.
And also
they're just
like
placed... Yeah, they're placed on the wall in a very feng shui, like, well, the sword's sheath is black, and so I've decided to go with a white, bearskin rug to play off it. Like, yes, he's the world's richest, most psychopathic knife guy.
And I will go on record as a guy from LA to say unequivocally that Kobe sucks.
Oh, yeah, of course he does. Yeah.
But I feel like there's a lot of LA people who have a weird blind eye to how much Kobe sucks. And as a guy that was a Shaq guy all the way up until like now, but while he played, like I just want to say I was right and take a little victory lap.
Oh yeah, of course you're right.
It's really funny the way Kobe, like dealing with Kobe stans was something that every extremely online basketball person had to deal with from, let's say, 2010 to 2013, and they were, I mean, compared to the current state of online discourse, it was all very mild. But at the time, it's when we were all just tweeting things like, going to get a sandwich, it seemed like, who are these insane lunatics screaming at me because I've somehow impugned the great Kobe Bryant? But they've kind of dissipated in Kobe's later. Now that Kobe's not around, you don't get the swarm of Kobe stans anymore.
You don't get a bunch of people. You don't get a bunch of people going like, "Details is awesome."
No, you really don't. No, you don't. You really don't.
You know what? Say what you will about Michael Jordan.
Okay.
He was not a nice guy.
He killed his dad. He killed his dad.
He did kill his dad.
That's saying what you will.
Say what you will.
Michael Jordan is not a knife guy.
He was not a knife guy.
No, he was a cigar guy.
Yeah.
He was a cigar dude.
Yeah.
Have you heard the Bobcat Goldthwait opening for Nirvana in Chicago story?
Please go ahead, Josh.
This is one of my favorite stories. So, this was the season that Michael Jordan retired and was playing baseball. And Nirvana was they had Bobcat open just for their Chicago show, and Bobcat was bombing so fucking hard to these like too cool for school Nirvana fans. And finally, just at the end of his rope, Bobcat just goes, you know, if I had to deal with you people every day, I'd kill my own dad to get out of it too. And he said, like when you hear him tell it, it's like when you hear like a troop, for example, talk about like when a bomb goes off, how like all the oxygen is just sucked out of the room. And then this explosion of just hate and rage. And people were chucking like full pint glasses of beer at the stage. And all of the security guards just like instinctively just jumped on top of Bobcat to protect him. And Bobcat's like under this like human pyramid of security guards in the fetal position. And he looks, and off stage in the wings, Kurt Cobain's laughing so hard that he has fallen down. And then Kurt Cobain goes on to have Bobcat open for them for the rest of their tour. And then, from what I've heard, Kurt Cobain went on to have a very long and happy life.
Oh, yeah, that is what happened.
Yeah.
Bob, why did you turn your camera on?
I don't know. I don't know why it turned on.
Oh, hey, there you are.
Weird.
Hi.
All right.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know why it did that.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
Dad can't operate his phone, apparently.
Yeah. I also have a Bobcat Goldthwait story. If we're
Please go ahead.
If we're riffing on a theme, right around the same time, it was 1994-95, which was right around the time when Michael Jordan returned to the NBA. I saw Bobcat Goldthwait do stand up at Columbia University, and he wasn't doing the voice really that much, but he was very funny. And at a certain point, he got through his usual routine, and he said, "All right, I'm bored with this. I don't want to do this set anymore." Someone asked me a question, and the one thing is the one like peppy, eager Columbia University college student sort of said to him was, "Why do you always make jokes about the things that make you sad? You're like rich and famous. What do you have to complain about?" To which Bobcat Goldthwait replied, he goes, "You want me to talk about the things that make me happy? Nobody talks about the things that make them happy. You know, the only one a comic that talks about the things that make him happy, go listen to Bill Cosby. You know what Bill Cosby likes? Coke and hookers." Which was remarkably prescient. Wow. And he goes, "You think fame will make you happy? That's what you think? You think fame is the kind of thing that makes people happy?" He goes, "Let me tell you what fame is, kid. You ever been to the dog track? No, of course you haven't. You go to this fucking fancy Ivy League school. You've never been to a fucking dog track in your life. Anyway, let me tell you about the dog track. The way it works is this. They have a little metal object shaped like a bunny, and they spray that bunny with animal pheromones, and they scoot it around the track, and the dogs race after it. And every now and then, you get a dog that's fast enough and just good enough that they actually will catch the mechanical bunny. And then when they catch it, they realize it's not a real animal, and so they won't race anymore. And so they shoot it. They shoot the dog. That's fame." And the room was like deadly silent.
That's amazing.
I couldn't stop laughing. It was really just me, like, laughing my ass off. I thought it was the funniest thing I'd ever heard. It's a great set.
That's a thing that only someone who starred in the movie Hot to Trot would say.
Yeah,
yes,
for sure.
And multiple Police Academy.
Yeah.
Pictures. I think we can call them Pictures, Police Academy.
Or Shakes the Clown. Really
Shakes the Clown. What's the fucking movie about where Robin Williams?
Death to Smoochie?
No, World's Greatest Dad.
Oh, I've never seen that one.
World's Greatest Dad, I think, is Bobcat's finest film. And also, I will say this, hot take, I think it's the best Robin Williams has been in anything. Movie, show, or whatever. That's Robin Williams' by far best performance.
All right.
It's a movie about Robin Williams as a teacher who really wants to be a writer, and all he wants is to be a famous writer, and then something horrible happens, and he's forced to choose whether to use and exploit the tragedy in order to actually finally attain fame for the first time. It's a great movie.
That sounds pretty dark, man.
It is super dark.
Question 4. If you were going to pick an NFL stadium to fashion into a massive bong capable of smoking out an entire city, which one would you pick? Any reason is acceptable. Andro.
All right. So, I mean, I feel like the go-to answer here has to be Washington. Because if you're going to get a whole city high, I want to see what Mike Pence does for the first time smoking weed. I want to see, like, all of these... I want to see, Washington football fans come to the realization that their team name is racist. I want them all to have, like, a collective anxiety attack about the fact that they're using an old-timey racial slur to play a game that only makes people die. I would absolutely love to see a guy in, like, a Hoggette costume who's like, Redskin is a term of endearment, to, like, just look at himself in the stadium, like, bathroom mirror and just be like, I gotta call my son. I haven't talked to him in 10 years. And you know what? It is me. I am the problem. And I feel like that plus all the political people getting high, it's got to be DC, baby.
Trump's never smoked weed, right?
No,
he's famous for being a teetotaler. Yeah. Although I don't believe him. It was the '80s in New York. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure he's had his share of Bolivian marching powder.
Yeah, he's a dude that does coke sober, and those people are the worst people on the planet.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
That's three, because Bob only did coke fucked up. 3 points for Josh Androsky. Mike Pence. I don't know if I can handle that, but Silverman, pick one.
Oh, come on! All these dudes. I don't care how much of a Bible thumper you are. It's really hard to find someone who was a kid in the 70s and 80s who didn't, get high one time.
Right,
Everyone
I know,
has.
but now to pierce the veil of, like, horse shit that you've assembled in order to justify the horrific things you do every day, to have that veil pierced, if only for 25 minutes, I think there would be record numbers of people just driving their cars off a fucking bridge, and I think it would make the world a better place.
I think it's very. This is now a serious point, but I think it's very hard to be a successful sociopath and not believe the shit you say, and they will never be convinced otherwise. In any case, as to which NFL stadium I would fashion into a bong, I'm going to go with Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, the Atlanta Falcons' new fancy $1.8 billion stadium, because it opens and closes at the top, so it already looks like a bong. I don't know if you've seen this. It looks like, as I believe Drew McGarry at Deadspin wrote, it looks like Megatron's butthole when it opens and closes.
It does look like a
so
big
it's already
old space anus.
Yeah, and I think therefore would make for a better bong to begin with. I went with the architecture side of this, which may have been the wrong way to go about it, but that's my take anyway. Like, Mercedes-Benz Stadium already looks to me like a functioning bong. Yeah. Now, I'm not really a weed guy, so I may be entirely wrong on the basic mechanical engineering of this, but that's my take.
All bongs have mechanically operated tops that open to let in the sun or the rain. Well, and they have a Chick-fil-A inside them also, every bong.
Very nice.
In a manner of speaking. Yes. I think probably the best architectural take you can bring to this. I will also be awarding you 3 points, Silverman. I've just been giving out 3-point takes a lot lately.
Yeah, man.
I'm feeling like in the 3-point take rut. All right. Question 5. Hockey.
Hmm.
I have very little concept of it, but I do know that Ovechkin's Washington Capitals and the motherfucking Las Vegas Golden Knights, an honest-to-God expansion franchise, will be squaring off in the Stanley Cup Finals this year. 2 questions. 1, do you have an opinion about who will win and why? And 2, if you do not, please tell me. Who would win in a bare-knuckle death match? The population of Washington, D.C., or the population of Las Vegas? Silverman, you first.
Damn. Yeah. I don't have enough of hockey knowledge to be able to say who's going to win this, except I think that the Vegas Golden Knights are going to win because they're a cool story, and Washington is kind of a doomed hockey franchise, so I think they're going to get fucked again. But as far as to who would win a giant, colossal war between the population of Washington, D.C. and the population of Las Vegas, we're talking actual Vegas residents?
Yes.
Or not just like the people who are in Washington as tourists and the people who are in Vegas as tourists.
The residents of Las Vegas.
Get consigned into this massive armed force. Okay. So the residents of actual Vegas, there's a lot of it's very tough because like part of Washington is just an entire swarm of Jared Kushners wearing khakis and lanyards, and they're going to get wiped out. But then there is like the actual people who live in Washington, D.C., who are like any other normal city. But you don't really have that normal metropolis population. You just have sort of, bouncers and Sheldon Adelson in Washington, D.C. It's very tough. But you know what? I'm going to say that they're more, considering it is a much larger, Washington, D.C. is a larger city than Las Vegas. I think they're winning on numbers alone. I think the math is with them, so it's Washington. No matter how many like Charlie Kirks there are who are going to get killed quick.
Silverman, I got to call that a cuck take and give you 1
maybe.
point. Josh Androsky.
Yeah, but you just did that because you were mad at yourself for too many 3-point takes.
Josh Androsky. I will mute you, Silverman. Josh Androsky.
All right, so here's the deal with Las Vegas. First and foremost, no, I don't know enough about hockey. I saw the Golden Knights beat the Kings in a game at Staples Center, and that's the closest I've been to hockey since I watched the Mighty Ducks in theaters. So I will say that you mentioned bouncers. Las Vegas is a city of bouncers and card sharks and like – there's, I imagine, and magicians, so many magicians. I imagine it like that scene in Game of Thrones with the Warlock, where Khaleesi's like dragons get taken and everybody turns into that guy that looks like if the dude from REM dressed like Uncle Fester. If Michael Stipe.
I'm sorry, I don't watch Fester. I feel like he should be docked for mentioning the Boobs and Dragons show, which is for cucks and nerds. I'm sorry.
I've read the books, Bob. I don't think you can.
Oh God, you people! Talk about nice guys.
I will say this: the combination of bouncers and magicians will lead to the residents of Washington D.C. In another stunning upset. This expansion franchise of a city of Las Vegas will take on an entrenched oligarchy of Washington, D.C.
How is David Blaine going to show hands? How is that going to make a difference?
He's jacked.
He's not jacked. He is not jacked.
He can hold his breath for a really long time. He can jump into the mall, into the reflecting pool, and hide because it's reflecting, right? Mm-hmm. So you wouldn't see underneath.
Makes a lot of sense to me.
He'd just pop up. And then, bam, got one.
Bam. McCain, throat slit.
Yeah, exactly. Do what the tumor fucking hasn't done yet for some reason. I can't openly wish for John McCain's death on this podcast?
No, I don't know. I don't know if you can.
Yeah, we're just not that hardcore. I wish we could. I wish I could. I really do.
I openly wish that John McCain would die. If he croaks, it's going to rule. A bunch of motorcycles are just going to drive by. It's going to be awesome.
We're all going to die, Josh, but
not me.
So I think it's going to happen regardless of whether you wish for it or not. But
no, dude, didn't you hear Peter Thiel moved to L.A.? So we're not going to die here.
He's
All
gonna
right,
he's gonna put nanobots in the water that are gonna keep.
Congratulations on your new career, Josh, as Peter Thiel's butler and personal blood bank.
If Elon Musk is dating Grimes, who is the Peter Thiel equivalent?
Oh boy, Robbie Mook.
That's pretty funny. Drake. I'm gonna go with Drake.
What about that cult leader on YouTube?
Which cult leader on YouTube, man? You got to narrow it down.
Thank you.
YouTube cult leader.
Jordan Paul? Logan Paul? One of the Pauls?
Yeah, Logan Paul. God, no, it's like a lady, and sometimes she says that sometimes suicide is the only good option.
No, that's just ASMR. You're just listening to fucked up ASMR.
You're just watching unboxing videos again, dude.
I do love a good unbox.
Stefan Molyneux, a former cult leader turned Trumpista. Is that the cult leader you're thinking of? That guy's got quite a backstory. Like, literally, he refers to abducting children from their parents as defooing. It's really mwah.
Come on, Stefan Molyneux. Get it together. I gave Josh 4 points for that take, mostly just because I liked a lot of the symmetry at work.
Thank you very much.
Because he mentioned your crappy Boobs and Dragons show.
Okay. Bob, everyone fucking watches it.
Not me! Not me!
You watch Marvel you watch Marvel movies. Like how
like months after the fact when they're on, cable and shit.
Game of Thrones is cable already.
You know what I haven't seen? You know what movie I haven't seen? The Black Panther. Now, don't call me a racist just because I haven't seen it. I just didn't want to wait online and be in a very crowded movie theater, so I'm waiting now. I'm waiting.
God,
it's been long enough.
That's the most big city New York shit I've heard in my entire life. I didn't want to sit in a big line. I tried to get tickets on like a Tuesday night, and they were sold out for the 8 o'clock show, and I was like, okay, fuck this shit. Yeah, move to a goddamn suburb where you can just like sneak into a movie theater.
I haven't seen the Black Panther. I haven't seen the Solo. I haven't seen the new Avengers. I have not seen these yet.
Solo is rotten from the root.
Yeah, because pretty much all the Star Wars movies suck.
But that motherfucker isn't Harrison Ford. Get the fuck out of here.
No.
Joey Devine's line, friend of the pod, Joey Devine's line. Sure. It's so brave of them to cast a contest winner as Han Solo.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's the line. That guy has negative charisma.
Yeah.
I mean, look, he's in a room with like Donald Glover and Woody Harrelson. And Chewbacca.
Yeah.
That's a tough.
Well, I mean, it doesn't get much more
those are 3
charismatic than
right
fucking
there.
Chewbacca. Yeah, the king of the alphas, Chewbacca. Do you think
Fuck,
the guy
Mary,
who plays
kill? Fuck, Mary, kill. Donald Glover, Woody Harrelson, and Chewbacca. Go.
It's just fuck for me.
Yeah,
that's my answer.
I mean, fuck Chewbacca for sure.
On top of a Jeep.
Absolutely.
Well dressed as a Wolverine-ish Little Lord Fauntleroy.
The other two are up in the air. I think I'm going to marry Donald Glover, but I will say I feel pretty bad about killing Woody Harrelson. That guy's great.
But think about all the cool bongs that Woody Harrelson has fashioned and the really good weed, Corbin.
Yeah, so now you get to get them after you kill them. You loot them.
All right, that's fair.
What a wonderful and spirited takes throwdown, kind of. But it's time to leave the Dominion opinion stroll into the glorious palace of concrete fact. I have with me, right here, a Trivial Pursuit Sports Trivia card from 1983. I will read off the questions from the card, and in the moment you think you know the answer, the 1983 answer, please press your buzzer by saying your name. Let's practice pressing our buzzers real quick.
Bob.
Homer.
Cool.
I knew Josh wouldn't be able to get through without telling a joke.
He's a yuckmeister.
I knew it. I knew he wouldn't be able to help himself.
Sorry, guys. I got really high during that last takeoff, so
I don't
forgive me.
I don't blame you. Wonderful job. I will issue 1 point for a correct answer, which will also give you a chance to offer a take on the topic. Good take will be worth 1 point. A scorcher will be worth 3. Do we all understand?
Yes.
Yep. Which was dubbed? Question 1. Which was dubbed the peerless leader, Tinker, Evers, or Chance?
Bob.
Bob.
Evers.
I'm sorry, it is not Evers. Josh, do you have a guess? Josh.
Tinker.
I'm sorry, it's not
No,
Tinker.
shit,
It was.
It was Hal Chance.
It was Hal Chance. Bob, I wasn't able to do my due diligence. I don't know what the fuck that is. Can you tell me?
It was the Chicago Cubs infield from the turn of the century. Tinkers to Evers to Chance, and they would turn a lot of double plays.
Cool.
All I heard was Tinker, Tailor, Soldier, Spy.
Yeah.
Tinker Tailor.
Yeah, a
Soldier,
truer
Chance.
combination has never been heard. Tinker to Evers to Chance. There was a song and everything.
Oh.
Wonderful.
Songs used to be the news.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Yeah, Carousel is actually about...
Hal Chance was actually busted for fixing games later in life. He was also known as the Dark Prince.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
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 I'm just going to let my phone keep ringing. Question 2. Who won an Emmy for his work on TV's Monday Night Football in its rookie season?
Josh?
Josh.
Was it Keith Jackson?
I'm sorry, it is not Cape Juxum?
Keith Jackson.
Keith Jackson, thank you. No, it was not Keith Jackson.
Howard
Silverman.
Cosell.
I'm sorry, it's not Howard Cosell. It is, in fact, Don Meredith.
Dandy Don.
Andy.
Who's Don Meredith?
Andy Don, they called him.
He was a football player who dressed up like a fop, like a Wolverine. He always had snuff.
He did commercials for Skoal brand dipping tobacco.
Ooh,
he was a
yeah.
hard-ass Texan, and he would wear sort of like fur-lined jackets and cowboy hats.
Hell
and
yeah.
he would go, and when the game was over, he would sing like, "Turn out the lights, the party's over." This was considered witty commentary in the late 70s.
Just like Wolverine does.
Just like Wolverine. He did dress in... No. Andrew Boy is right. He did dress in a Wolverine-ish fashion. It's very true.
Dandy.
He wore like Shetland coats and that sort of thing. And cowboy hats.
Next question. Who noted, "I'm so fast that last night I turned off the light switch in my hotel room and was in bed before the room was dark"? I'm so fast that last night I turned off the light switch in my hotel room. Bob.
Muhammad Ali.
Yes, Muhammad Ali.
Thank you.
Ali, of course, is a famous boxer of note. Bob, do you have a take on this quote or on Muhammad Ali?
Do I have a take on Muhammad Ali?
Sure, I don't know. Why not?
Muhammad Ali or his fancy quote. Not to bring things back to my dad again, but my dad, it was weird. He got very angry at the outpouring of laudatory, loving eulogies and obituaries that came out when Muhammad Ali died. He felt like that. He felt basically like that Muhammad Ali is not, one of the major sports figures of, if not the 20th century, like all time, did not deserve this degree of lionization from the press. And why is the TV news spending 3 days just talking about Muhammad Ali? What the fuck did he do? I was like,
wow.
Well, I mean, it was a very strong take from Dad. You got to admit that. So Dad's take was that Muhammad Ali, was Muhammad Ali. What's the big deal? So that was his, and I tried to explain that he was that for sports writers, especially of a certain age, he was a beloved hero and an icon. And Dad's take was like he wasn't even that great a boxer. He got like George Chuvalo took him, and then like there was a Chuck Wepner kind of a thing. Like Dad was like, anytime he fought like a slow ass white dude, he still managed. He like got his ass kicked, and it was like, all right, Dad.
Wow,
that's your take.
Who's
that
your
was
dad?
Dad's. So that's not my take. That is my dad's take.
Who'd your dad
Muhammad
vote
Ali
for?
Overrated in the election.
Yeah,
which one? Like the primaries or the actual thing?
The primaries.
Like in the Democratic primary, he voted for Bernie, and then in the actual election, he held his nose and voted for Hillary.
He voted. Oh, it's actually, you're going to say Trump. They all voted for Trump.
No.
These guys.
Yeah. Is there an athlete that your father would allow that sort of lionization for if Muhammad Ali is not one of them?
I don't know, because he kind of said the same thing when David Bowie died.
Wow.
He was like, what's the big deal? I listened to his songs. They weren't that
You know
great.
what? I hate to say this. I get it.
Wow.
I get it.
Yeah, sorry, Josh.
Lou Reed
I'm
was
gonna get
better.
the whole party
I don't
thing
know.
coming up.
What are you
You
going to
are
say?
not getting an invite. You are not getting an invite to the party. I'm going to show up at your house with a knife shaped like a lightning bolt.
That he's made in his home forge.
Yeah, I'm getting a home porch now, baby. You better believe it.
I think no. I think my father would say that the culture of celebrity and fetishization of death does not need to be on a near constant 24-hour news cycle. So no, I don't think there is an athlete who he would say. Maybe Kareem. He thinks Kareem is dope. He might say yes to Kareem.
I feel that.
That's pretty tight.
I might shed one when Kareem goes down.
Yeah, sure. By the way, here's a question, not for points, but what musician? This is to both to you and Josh, and to you, Corbs. What musician, if and when they pass, are you just going to be a complete asshole, sanctimonious prick about on Twitter and various social media platforms? I can answer for myself.
Like that they're bad, actually, or
no. That they changed my life and heartfelt stories about the songs and where you were and just weeping like the constant Bowie Prince stuff. He also thought Prince didn't deserve it either. But who are you going to go full Prince for when they pass?
So, as somebody that went full Bowie for Bowie,
fair.
That was one of the big ones. But I would say my other one that just means the most to me is Ray Davies.
Okay, that's cool.
Because he's also criminally underrated as the best songwriter in rock and roll history.
Yes, fair take.
Best lyricist. The fact that when everyone else was singing My Generation and fucking Lucy in the Sky, that he did Village Green as a fuck you to his parents, agreed with them to say fuck you, is the smartest thing in music. And he's a huge asshole who may or may not have pimped his brother out and forced his brother to, on a dare, fuck a dude on a Jeep. And then wrote a song about it called David Watts. But yeah, Ray Davies. And not Dave. Specifically not Dave.
I think, okay. First, Lou Reed, I think, is the person that I felt that way about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good answer.
And he also has passed. But in the near future, McCartney is going to die. And I'm going to try really hard to not get mad at people being like, fuck Paul McCartney. And then
Some people will be like that.
Yeah, and then but I'm gonna get mad at them.
I don't think anybody that is a serious person is gonna be like, but fuck McCartney.
No, they're gonna before I give my answer, by the way, I just want to say the two worst days in all time on Twitter, which are coming up, which are going to be when Bruce Springsteen dies.
Oof.
Oh, fuck that.
And when David Byrne dies.
Ooh, David Byrne, I might actually get
Yeah, there's going to be Springsteen is going to be every single baseball writer just dumping their weepy shit out all over everyone. And David Byrne is going to be all the pretentious, snooty East Coast types being how he was criminally under. For me, it's simple. It's Elvis Costello. I'm going to be a weepy, whiny little turd when Elvis Costello passes, and it's going to be ugly.
I'm going to be like your dad when that one happens.
Yep.
Very fair. Fair.
I just can't. That's Virgin Rock. I can't stand it.
Can we go back to the Beatles for a second and talk about how a shift has there's been a shift in society wherein now it kind of Paul or Ringo are your default favorite big Beatles post Me Too.
When did that? What? Wait. What was
John Lennon was not nice to women,
and so was George.
Oh.
George also beat the shit out of his wife so much that she left him for Eric Clapton. And I remember growing up, everyone was like, "Oh, Eric Clapton stole George's wife." And
that's what I thought the story was.
Is that not? I've never heard this before either, Josh.
I
just thought it was Clapton cucked George Harrison by having sex with his wife on a Jeep or something.
Now I have to check it. Because if I'm just telling tales,
Damn.
I think the McCartney
It's
take
possible.
is shifted also because John Lennon was bullshit.
yes,
And the sort of Messiah complex thing.
I think people have realized that George was the actual, kind of, that John was not as much of the genius as he liked to portray himself.
Well, that Paul is genuinely, an unbelievable songwriter and performer, and also, mostly a decent human being, at the very least.
Seems like it.
Yeah, was nice to, loved his wife a lot and doesn't eat animals, and, that guy's all right by me. Andrew, you almost done with that?
I'm trying to find it, and now I can't, and I feel really bad because I've been going off.
You called a dead man a wife beater on a beloved podcast.
I know, and now I feel horrible about it. I swear I saw.
Well, then it's internet true, so it's fine.
I can't find it anywhere. This is insane. All right, well, my bad, George. Sorry, George. George remains everybody. You should be your favorite Beatle.
Clapton says he beat his wife. Apparently. Odd.
Come on, Corbin, the game's going to start.
Can I tell you guys? I know. Can I tell you guys the third result on George Harrison wife beating?
Is it a porn?
No, it's did George Harrison have an affair with Madonna?
Oh.
Explosive film reveals new side to Beatles star. Anyway.
My favorite Madonna relationship, aside beyond the Dennis Rodman one later in life, was Madonna before she was famous. Had a hot and heavy thing with Jean-Michel Basquiat.
Oh.
And Jean-Michel Basquiat would take her around to Warhol's factory and be like, "This is Madonna. She's going to be famous."
Question 4.
Yeah.
Question 4. What Purdue star did the Golden State Warriors make with the first overall pick? Take with the first overall pick in the 1980 NBA draft?
Bob.
Joe
Barry Carroll.
Yes, it is Joe Barry Carroll. Bob, do you have a Joe Barry Carroll take?
It's just that in one of the during Peter Vessey's heyday as a New York columnist, this was when the Knicks were banding around the idea. There was briefly a moment where the Knicks were worried that Patrick Ewing was never going to be healthy enough. And so there was a rumor floated that they were offering him to the Golden State Warriors for multiple firsts and Joe Barry Carroll. And I think it was right around that time, though it may have been before, Peter Vessey started referring to him in print again and again as Joe Barely Cares. And the trade obviously never happened. But that's my favorite really cruel Joe Barry Carroll nickname. Joe Barely Cares.
No points. Next question.
Okay.
What Florida city do the Minnesota Twins hold spring training in?
Bob.
Gosh.
Bob.
Fort Lauderdale.
I'm sorry, it's not Fort Lauderdale. Josh, what is your guess?
Sarasota.
I'm sorry, it's not Sarasota.
Is it Port St. Lucie?
I'm sorry, it is not Port St. Lucie.
Is it Tampa?
I'm sorry, it is not Tampa.
Is it Pensacola?
I'm sorry, it is not Pensacola.
Is it Clearwater?
I'm sorry, it is not Clearwater.
Is it Boston?
I'm sorry, it is not Boston, Florida.
Is it Pleasure Island?
I'm sorry, it is not Pleasure Island. It is, in fact, Orlando.
Oh.
Last question. How many teams debuted in the USFL in 1983?
Josh?
Bob.
Josh.
Is it 11?
I'm sorry, it is not 11. Bob.
12.
Bob, it is 12.
Fuck.
God, Bob is always so good at the trivia round. Bob,
This is my sweet spot.
you have 15 and Josh has 16.
Uh-oh.
If you provide a hot take about the USFL, you will win today's contest.
When I was a kid, I thought the USFL was really, really cool and fun to watch. I don't know why, but I got really into watching USFL games, if only because their names were incredibly ludicrous and silly and seemed far more wacky than the very serious NFL. They had teams like the Chicago Blitz and the Oklahoma Outlaws and the Houston Gamblers, and I thought they were just sort of wild and rebellious and fun. And I really liked watching USFL football, and I even rooted for the Donald Trump era New Jersey Generals because I thought Doug Flutie was the shit and Herschel Walker was the shit. Mm-hmm. And I thought, wow, this team, my hot take at age 13 rooting for the New Jersey Generals was, yeah, they could beat the Giants and the Jets. I was wrong.
Well,
I don't know, man. It's up to you. Ball's in your court.
There's a foul at the end of the game. You got to make the call, ref.
Yeah, I'm Hubert Davis launching at 3, and you're Hugh Hollins, man.
Bob, I've given you 1 point. We enter a very brief tie-breaking round.
Can I just say real quick that the Memphis Showboats is maybe the best team name of all time.
That's also a great name, the Memphis Showboats. Yeah.
All right.
The Portland and/or Boston and/or I forget the third city they were in, Breakers. There was a lot of shit like that.
Portland Breakers.
Yeah, and then they were in Boston too.
Oh wow.
And then the Chicago Blitz merged with the Arizona Wranglers at a certain point, and Jim Kelly was on the LA Express. It was fun. The USFL was a lot of fun.
I agree, but we have to enter the tiebreaker round, Bob, because we both have to watch the NBA right now.
Sure.
Okay. Basically, Josh, this goes. Whoever gets the first question right wins. Okay. Question 1: What is the nickname of the Wyoming football squad?
Bob. Cowboys.
Yes, it is the Cowboys.
Damn.
Boom.
A come from behind victory from Silverman.
Damn.
Who used his oldness to win the trivia round.
Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't born till '87.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Sorry, man.
To
I bring my old man YMCA Paul Pierce style game into TO.
where you flop around in the takes portion and then
just wheel me out in a wheelchair at halftime and then gun it in the second half.
Yeah. Do you guys have anything to promote?
Nope.
Just nope. Just straight up no.
Follow me on Twitter, baby.
You're on Go Off Kings tonight, right?
Yeah, I'm on Go Off Kings tonight, but it's coming out tonight.
Yeah, this comes out tomorrow morning.
Oh, watch me on Go Off Kings last night.
Silverman.
Cool.
Yeah, you're at Josh Androsky on Twitter.
At Shut Up Androsky.
Oh, pardon me. I thought it was just at Josh Androsky.
Okay.
Silverman, are you going to be on Go Off Kings? What Twitch streams are you going to be on?
None of them. Unfortunately, I tried playing Fortnite the other night, but I couldn't get to work on my computer, so I didn't do it.
That's the most Bob story I've heard in my entire life. Hell yeah!
I thought, this is what everyone's playing. I'll play this game, and then I just couldn't figure out how to make it work.
Oh my god, this is pure Silverman right here. Holy moly!
The straight uncut shit.
Oh my god.
Like I said, there's an article today in today's edition of the Daily Beast about the NFL's recent anthem goofery. I've got some longer term stuff coming that'll be out very soon, including a fun story about what killed basket blogging.
What was it?
It was the fact that people didn't want to work for free forever.
Oh yeah. Whoops. It was biscuit. It was biscuit ball.
It was biscuit ball. It was biscuit ball, and the disc were too young and beautiful to live. Is the problem.
Thank you very much for joining us, both of you, Bob, Josh. Wonderful.
I'm on a 2-game win streak, Corbs. I just want to say that.
I'm mad about that. I don't like it when Silverman wins.
Fair. It was in your hands. You ordered him that point for that.
I know. Look, I know. I understand, but
the integrity. He had to make the call.
It was a decent take. I couldn't help myself. That's just how fair I am. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to the fates.
Oh, you centrist fucking technocrat.
Yeah,
slave to the process.
Hillary Clinton ass. I understand. Anyway,
congratulations on joining Verret there, Corbs.
Thank
you.
To
go. Way to be Peter Dow.
When are you gonna endorse Cuomo, Corbin?
Right here, right now. Cynthia Nixon was bad on Sex in the City. Vote for Cuomo.
Strong take.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you for joining us, Josh and Bob.
Thank you.
Thank you, Corbin.
And thank you to the audience for listening, and everybody have a wonderful day. Oh, God damn.